American half pound, 2 pure beef patties, lettuce, tomato.
Singles going steady.
This is Singles Going Steady, the podcast dedicated to exploring great singles with a particular eye to the punk, new wave, and DIY eras of the last century. I'm Adrienne Meddock.
Oi, 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 I'm Steve McGowan. We are in a band, The Beef People. We released a single in 1986 on our own label, Zub Records, and we are record collectors and passionate about the expression of pop music perfection that is the single recording. In exploring the mystery of what makes for a great single is what propelled us to begin this podcast.
Which episode?
Oi.
Up to?
We're up to number 037, and I'm oying it up because we're going to listen to Ian Dury and the Blockheads and their amazing single, Reasons to be Cheerful, Part 3, with the B-side, Common as Muck.
Oh, good. Can we just listen? Let's start by listening.
Let's just start with Reasons to be Cheerful, 1, 2, 3. This was released in 1979, a standalone single on Stiff Records.
Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. 1, 2, 3. Summer Buddy Holly, the working folly, good golly Miss Molly, and boats. Hammersmith Pally, the Bolshoi Bally, jump back in the alley, add nanny goats. 18-wheeler camels, Dominica camels, all other mammals plus equal votes. Seeing Piccadilly, Fanny Smith and Willie, being rather silly, and porridge oats. I better grin and bear it, I better come and share it. You're welcome, we can spare it. Yellow socks, too short to be haughty, too nutty to be naughty. Going on 40, no electric shocks. The juice of the carrot, the smile of the parrot, a little drop of claret, anything that works. Elvis and Scotty, days when I ain't spotty, sitting on the potty, curing smallpox. Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. Reasons to be cheerful, 1, 2, 3. Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. Health service classes, gigolos and brasses, round or skinny bottoms. Taking mum to Paris, lighting up the chalice, Wee Willie Harris. Bantu Stephen Biko, listening to Rico, Harpo Groucho Chico. Cheddar cheese and pickle, the Vincent motorcycle, slap and tickle. Woody Allen Darley, Dimitri and Pasquale, Balla 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 and Valari. Sunday nights to study, phoning up a buddy, being in my nuddy. Saying okie dokie, sing along a smoky, coming out a chokey. John Coltrane soprano, Eddie Celentano, Bona Carlino. Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. Reasons to be cheerful, 1, 2, 3. Yes, yes, dear, dear, perhaps next year, or maybe even never. In which case... Cheerful, part 3. Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. Reasons to be cheerful. One, two, three. Reasons to be cheerful. Part three. Reasons to be cheerful. Part three. Reasons to be cheerful. Part three. Reasons to be cheerful. 1, 2, 3.
Why don't you get back into bed? 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 Why don't you get back into bed?
Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. Reasons to be cheerful, part 3. Reasons to be cheerful. 1, 2, 3.
All right, Ian Dury and the Blockheads. Reasons to be Cheerful, Part 3. This was released in between the records Do It Yourself and Laughter, and it was the last single that the original version of the Blockheads played on. Chaz Jankel, the chief songwriter and guitarist with the Blockheads, left the band after this single. It's definitely got kind of a disco-y thing to it. It's a dance floor kind of song, which is even for Ian is kind of it's got that really 4 on the floor kind of beat, and it's really basically a rap song. He's not singing. He's rapping. It's one of his laundry list songs where he's talking about all the things that are good to be cheerful about. Now, we won't go into all of those things because
some are a little bit saucy.
A lot of them are, actually. But let's talk a little bit about the Britishness of Ian Dury.
Yeah. This is not easily accessible. Can't say the word. Accessible.
That too.
Or either of those things to those in the U.S.
Right.
And even to, Anglophiles. Right. You need a cheat sheet to make your way through the references.
Yes. Ian is definitely coming from a working class perspective, and he talks about a lot of things that are supremely British, even more than the Jam. Yeah. He gets into the whole Cockney thing, and he was beloved in the UK. He was one of the punters, as they say, and it doesn't translate quite as well over here, but it is some fabulous music, and if you take a little time to get into it, think you'll enjoy it. We're going to have a couple of links into all the references he makes in this song, things like the Bolshoi Ballet and the Hammersmith Palais, and the yellow socks and the carrot juice, and it's just all over the map. And we've got a couple of sites we're going to link to it, so you can check that out if you're interested.
Get your own cheat sheet.
That's right. So we have just seen. We watched just the other night a 1977 documentary about the first Stiff Records package tour. The documentary is called "If It Ain't Stiff, It Ain't Worth an F," as you can imagine. And
we couldn't read the last few letters in that word.
But
so.
you could probably figure it out. It's got Larry Wallace and Reckless Eric, Nick Lowe with basically Rock Pile. Just
yes,
Nick Lowe just
Dave Edmunds in full force.
Yes, very, very good. And Elvis Costello looking very young
with the Attractions
and very sullen.
Yes, he was not.
I think he was.
Reason to be cheerful was how much they shamed
yes.
Elvis and the Attractions. I think pants them musically.
I think Ian Dury just kicked him all over the stage, and he was not happy about it. And then they show Ian Dury and the Blockheads, who are just this amazing band live. I mean, they are basically like a show band.
It's a show band.
Yeah, I mean, they're big band. The keyboard player. I said, he's got a keytar, but he didn't. He just had a big old analog synth with a strap on it.
He was carried around like a guitar.
Yeah. It was just amazing. And Norman Watt-Roy on the bass and the drumming and the sax playing. It was just amazing. And the crowd
what
was
a musical
nuts.
outfit.
Yes.
It was just...
Yeah, when he does Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll at the end, the house just...
They did it as a full review, bringing all the stiff acts on the tour out to play. They had 3 drummers.
Yes. It's a very short documentary.
I mean, not usually. I mean, they brought all 3 drummers out to play.
It's a very short documentary, but it's definitely worth your time. You can watch it on Amazon, I think, for free. And it gives you a real sense of what it was like back then and how basically everybody's careers are just getting started. They're they're really on the launch pad, and it's very fascinating just to see. Some of the behavior is a little immature, of course, but the music is amazing.
Yeah, and it was interesting that traveling together as a package tour, and they played with each other, and at one point. Ian is drumming.
Yeah, he's drumming for Reckless Eric.
Yeah,
and his girlfriend's playing bass. Ian's girlfriend and Davy Payne's playing sax with them, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, they mixed it up, and so I mean it's a great time capsule.
Yes, it's really good. So we want to listen to the B-side of this single as well because it's much more typical Ian Dury. It's a song called Common as Muck. It's got more of that music hall flavor. It's a little sort of ersatz jazzy.
Yeah. And that's where we get, it's incredibly British on both sides, two sides of sort of
again,
ground zero Britishness.
This is another laundry list song where he talks about why and how he's common because he's not this, he's not that, he's this, And so let's listen to it now, the B-side of the single, Reasons to be Cheerful single. It's called Common as Muck. It was released in 1979 on Stiff Records. Here we go.
You're not Bridget Bardot, I'm not Jack Palance, I'm not Shirley Temple, by any circumstance, or Fred Astaire. You're not Sidney Taffler, I'm not Dirk Bogarde, I'm not very stylish, and you're not avant-garde, or Lionel Blair. We're as common as muck. On chance, feel good luck. Where Paul is beautiful, we don't give a damn. Lover duck, we're as common as muck. You're not Victor Hugo, I'm not Patient Strong, I'm not Rodney Reigate or Yvonne Goolagong. Shirley Abigail. Oh. I'm not Nellie Melba, you're not Nellie Dean. We do our best endeavours to keep our doobies clean, 'cause we care. We're as common as muck. Buona fortuna, vayas con Dios, good luck. Where bold is beautiful, we don't give a damn. Love a duck, we're as common as muck. Bon chance, feel good luck. We're bold is beautiful, we don't give a damn. Love a duck, we're as common as muck.
All right, common as muck. Kind of a schmaltzy little Ian Dury thing. A great bookend to Reasons to Be Cheerful. And another great thing about this single, which again was never officially released on an Ian Dury record, it was on all the compilations later, has one of those fabulous Barney Bubbles sleeves.
Oh, yeah.
And you know by now that we're big Barney Bubbles fans, so I'll let Adrienne take over here.
Right. And Barney Bubbles not only designed this sleeve, but the band logo for the Blockheads.
Which is awesome.
And, was basically the house designer for Stiff and later FB in Radar Records. And just the references, it's funny for Common as Muck, because this is the opposite of that. This is like very knowing.
It's very posh.
And well, I don't know that it's posh, but it's very learned.
Yes.
The references there are of, the highest water. And, specifically to me, you really see the influence of Bauhaus, the School of Design, the German School of Design. And particularly Laszlo Moholy-Nagy, you see sort of leaping him as a leaping off reference point.
You're not going to start speaking German again, are you?
No,
Okay, good.
I think I've mispronounced the Gesamtkunstwerk enough that I don't need to say it again.
Okay, good.
I butchered it enough.
All right.
The German speakers out there are already wincing, so I won't go there. But the quality of design and it's sort of like the centrality, the Blockheads just did not make the impact in the U.S. that they made in Britain. I mean, this was a number 3 single.
Yeah.
He had number 1 singles.
Yes.
And, there was not that sort of impact stateside.
Not at all.
And the impact that we talked before about Paul Gorman's monograph,
Right.
Of the work of Barney Bubbles, and
Which is called
Reasons to be Cheerful. So that tells you how central the design for Steph and for Ian Dury was to Barney Bubbles, and and that's a well-known reference to folks who would be interested in Barney Bubbles. Maybe not so much over here, but to the British audiences would be very well known and very well recognized. As
kind of a apropos of nothing, we were talking about how the Blockheads are kind of like a show band. Yeah. And one time in Greenville at the Ups Club, I had the chance to see the famous Root Boy Slim and the Sex Change Band from D.C., and they had a big show band, and it was one of those deals where the band came on and did like a set before the star, Root Boy, came on, and they played at least 5 or 6 Blockhead songs, Ian Dury songs, and one of the guys in the band was singing, and they had the funk, and they were bringing it, and it was kind of amazing that these guys were so plugged into that to see,
Was there one of their big songs, Christmas at Kmart? Am I getting that right?
I think so.
Right, because we're actually recording this on Christmas, so that's apropos.
Exactly. So
I'll be playing that in my mind, if not in my ears.
So we love Ian Dury. It does take a little work to get into his stuff, but the songs are so good and so clever.
And the thing about a show band, we were just talking about Kay Kaiser as one does,
yes.
But that notion of a band with that's a show band where you've got the different performers have different personas and different presentations,
like
and
Prince's band.
Yeah, and we were tracing that DNA, sort of from Kay Kaiser to Cab Calloway to Prince's band. And
I wear the doctor's outfit.
Right. I'm the one that's dressed as a bear, I guess, if you want to take it even to like Flaming Lips. But
I'm wearing a diaper.
Right. And take it through to the mothership and let it take off.
Exactly.
But certainly that idea here that the band it's not uniform, that everybody's got a different role to play, and that you've got a salad, right? It's not a melting pot. It's a salad.
It's definitely a crazy salad. So another thing we want to mention, and it's going to be one of my recommendations, is there's an unbelievably good movie about Ian Dury. It was released in 2010. It's called Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll, and it stars Andy Serkis, who was...
We usually don't see Andy Serkis. We see his action, right, under motion capture.
He was in the Planet of the Apes movies, right?
Right. So his voice and his motions are in there, but they got the CGI. Caesar, I think I've never seen any of those movies.
Wasn't he in the Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings as Smeagol, Gollum.
Right.
Okay, I'm a little more
He's actually playing a
human
human in this one, so he is Ian Dury, and he really is Ian Dury.
He embodies him in a way. I said it's almost like CGI in the sense that it's so as if you were watching.
Yes.
Ian Dury.
And it's just a great movie. It's very fast-paced and
stylish,
quick edited, and has like cartoon sort of sequences. The music's amazing.
Yeah, live-action cartoon sort of.
And I recommend it very highly. It's very good. There's a scene in it where his young son comes to Ian and says that they told him that they were posh, and he says, "No, we're not posh. We're arts and crafts." So it's worth it for that. Just there. So
that's an aspiration, right?
So this was an amazing single. We're talking about who we thought might cover it, and I came up with something.
Living, dead, imaginary, or fictional.
I want to hear Queen do this song, and
Freddie Mercury,
and there another one bites the dust mode.
Okay,
yes.
So get in the time capsule.
Freddie could even sing. He wouldn't even have to rap. He could be Freddie. Do whatever he wants.
Oh yeah, but I think
you could hear them laying down that bass line.
With that rhythmic, getting in the groove.
Yep.
Getting in the pocket.
Yep. So it'd be even better if Ian was fronting Queen.
Hey, maybe Parliament Funkadelic.
Yeah, really. Exactly.
You know, but you've got that sort of hit the groove.
Yep.
And just keep riding it.
Yeah, until the mothership leaves.
Exactly. The show band is here.
So, what's our recommendation today, Adrienne?
Well, my recommendation would be, after talking a little bit about design, is just recommending getting a good design book. There's several that focus on the Bauhaus, and you'll see just sort of how rich a mother lode of that design school, with an influence on every form of art. Kind
of the Beatles of
design. The Beatles of design.
Everybody's ripped off something from it, right?
Who's the John and who's the Secret Paul?
Oh, well, we can't talk about Secret Paul because it's a secret.
First rule of Secret Paul is no talking about Secret Paul.
So my recommendations I've already mentioned. I would recommend the two films that I've discussed. One is the documentary on Stiff Records from 1977. If it ain't stiff, it ain't worth an F.
We'll find out what that word means. Maybe we'll post it up on what the F stands for.
Yeah, if you can't figure it out on your own. But we'll link to that. And the Andy Serkis film, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll from 2010 about the life of Ian Dury. Definitely an amazing movie. Really something you should watch.
I mean, whether
you know,
you don't have to be a blockhead to be interested. I mean, it's just a great film.
Yeah, I mean, he grew up with polio. He had a lot of strife in his life, and he overcame a lot. He was actually
a lot of strife with the wife.
Yeah. He was a very educated man, and he taught university, and some of his Cockney stuff was kind of a put on, but he wrote amazing songs. He was an amazing talent
and a performer.
Yes.
And as
a he would do all the magic tricks and everything. And remember, we saw him on the Stiff documentary. He swallowed a scarf, I think.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So Ian Dury and the Blockheads, reasons to be cheerful. It's Christmas. We're cheerful. We love Ian. We love Stiff Records. And that was a Singles Going Steady, number 037. And we will talk to you soon.
Soon. 1, 2, 3.
To learn more about the artists and recordings we just talked about, visit our website at zubrecords.com and click on the Singles Going Steady icon.
You'll also find links to the persons, places, and things we recommend, and much more.
You can find episodes of Singles Going Steady on our website or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Singles Going Steady is brought to you by the power and majesty of Zub Records. Zub Records. Smart sounds for sharp people.
Today